the United States House of Representatives, the heart of American democracy.
Yeah.
I will never forget the first time I saw the Capitol. It was on a cold January day when I was 6 years old. My father, Thomas D'Alessandro Jr.
In 1919, you know what I mean? She's like, oh, when I was 6 years old in a cold. Wait, actually, what year was it? I just lied. I just made a joke, but like, I don't know if that, it could, yeah, in the 1870 cold winter of 1874, I laid eyes on Congress, on the congressional halls for the first time. I was a mere 6-year-old, not a vampire yet. 1946, that's crazy.
Jr. was about to be sworn in for his 5th term in Congress, representing our beloved hometown of Baltimore. I was riding the car with my brothers, and they were thrilled and jumping up and down and saying to me, Nancy, look, there's the Capitol. And every time I'd say, I don't see any Capitol. Is it a capital A, a capital B, or a capital C?
Damn, dude.
And
she's got, damn, that's the tight 5. You know what I'm saying? She's busting out her big guns.
Finally, I saw it. A stunning white building with a magnificent dome. I believed then, as I believe today, this is the most beautiful building in the world because of what it represents. The Capitol is a temple of our democracy, of our Constitution, of our highest ideals. On that day,
damn, applause break.
On that day, I stood with my father on this floor as he took a sacred oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. All of us who have served in this House have taken the hallowed oath.
Oh, by the way, she's slated to be replaced by Hakeem Jeffries, who, oh my Lord. I mean, oh my Lord. All right. That's a whole different subject.
Oath of office. And it is the oath that stitches us together in a long and storied heritage. Colleagues who served before us are all our colleagues. Colleagues like Abraham Lincoln, Daniel Webster, Shirley Chisholm, Patsy Mink, and our beloved John Lewis. Personally, it binds me as a colleague to my father, a proud New Deal congressman and one of the earliest Italian Americans to serve in the Congress.
Bro, her dentures are blasted, dude. Jesus, Lord mercy. I hadn't heard Nancy talk this long for a while. Holy fuck. She's spitting. Like literally, I don't mean like she's spitting good shit.
Keep, and it links us with the highest aspirations of the ages. In this room, our colleagues across history have abolished slavery, granted women the right to vote.
Nancy was like, I was there. She's like, I was against it, but like I was there. You know what I mean?
Established Social Security and Medicare, offered a hand to the weak, care to the sick, education to the young, and hope to the many. Indeed, it is here, under the gaze of our patriarch, George Washington, in the People's House, that we have done the people's work. My colleagues, I stand before you as Speaker of the House, as a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a devout Catholic, a proud Democrat,
a great-grandmother,
and a patriotic American, a citizen of the greatest republic in the history,
an Italian woman of color. I stand before you.
of the world.
You don't even have to make shit up. Her dad was a New Deal Democrat. Yeah, I mean, she has spent her career running to the right of her dad on at least some of the issues, okay? So, yeah, that's true. She's like, literally, my entire political career revolves around being the best fucking fundraiser coming out of California and rising to prominence within the Democratic Party for my skills as I excelled in fundraising. This is true, okay? And suffering succotash. Or whatever the fuck that which one's the one, the hunter? What does he say? With the fucking Elmer Fudd. Yeah, thank you. Or is it Sylvester? Anyway, whatever. Let's continue. Is Sylvester the cat? That one needed more time in the oven, buddy. Man, shut up. I'm cutting live content for 8 fucking hours. They're not gonna all be bangers, okay? You'll be repeating that joke to your fucking friends later to come across as cool, even though they're just as fucking nerdy as you because they like politics, okay? I hate motherfuckers in the chat being like, man, that's crazy. That was really not funny. And then directly repeating bar for bar everything that you hear on this fucking broadcast to your friends so you come across like you're more knowledgeable of politics than you actually are. Oh my God.
Which President Lincoln called the last best hope on earth. Indeed, in the words attributed to another of our colleagues, the legendary Daniel Webster, he said, "Hold on, my friends, to the Constitution of your country and the government established under it. Miracles do not cluster. That which has happened but
there
once
ain't nothing
in
wrong with that, by the way.
6,000 years
I mean, that's normal.
cannot be expected to happen often. Indeed, American democracy is majestic, but it is fragile. Many of us here have witnessed its fragility firsthand, tragically, in this chamber. And so democracy must be forever defended from forces that wish it harm. Last week, the American people spoke, and their voices were raised in defense of liberty, of the rule of law, and of democracy itself. With these elections, the people stood in the breach and repelled the assault on democracy. They resoundingly rejected violence and insurrection, and in doing so, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
This is old. We already watched it.
And now we owe to the American people our very...
Hakeem Jeffries, the one being tapped to replace her, was once quoted as saying, Israel should not be made to apologize for its strength in reference to the brutal Israeli occupation of Palestinian territory. One of his more recent quotes was, Hakeem Jeffries is very strange, okay? Like, he is a very weird guy. I'll just say it, okay? Not a normal guy, very weird guy. Now, of course, he covers parts of Brooklyn and Queens, okay? And he's Israel's strongest defender, I would say, okay? He is Israel's strongest defender. He's been quoted as saying things like, as I always like to say, we need to start speaking Yiddish and stop speaking Hebrew. Like, his political instincts are so strange and definitely will not translate to the National Democratic Party. He despises AOC. He despises the progressive wing. The thing that I just said was the thing that I said was like him trying to make a joke about how like we need to be more we need to be one with the streets, okay? Here, Hakeem Jeffries with AIPAC in 2020. Jerusalem is New York City's 6th borough. Important to maintain Israel's qualitative military edge and oppose efforts to delegitimize Israel like BDS. No conditions for U.S. military aid. AIPAC lobbying is important.
We consider Jerusalem to be the 6th borough. I grew up in Brooklyn in the late 80s and early 90s. I know from tough neighborhoods, Israel lives in a tough neighborhood. And when you live in a tough neighborhood and when you go on a trip and you're able to experience that through the eyes of those who have to live it every day, then you know why it's important for Israel to maintain its qualitative military edge, to continue to be strong. As long as I have the opportunity to serve in Congress.
Pandering for the Hasidic voting bloc, yeah, except like that's not the end all be all. You know what I mean? He's just like he straight up is ultimately like is expressly anti-progressive. He's expressly anti-progressive. He's to the right of. I mean, he despises the fucking progressive wing of the Democratic Party. Maybe even more than. Hasids aren't Zionist, chat. No, we're not. We're talking about New York. The New York Hasidic community is not the same Hasidic community that you're talking about in like England and shit. And